Hello, the happiest of days to each of you folks. I hope you guys are having just an absolutely amazing day today. Today, for the day that I dedicate to Serial Saturday, where I dedicate it to the forgotten but very influential on our stuff, serials of TVs and movies too, and that sort of thing too. I'm doing my reviews and that sort of thing too. I've done a ton of reviews. I just recently finished the 5 serial Zorro series by Republic, and then I did a couple in between, and now I thought it'd be nice to knock out another big hit at the time. This is the 4 episodes, 4 serials set, also by Republic too, from Dick Tracy for you folks. So each of these tend to be a little longer and take more of your time, just as a heads up. So we're starting with Dick Tracy from 37. This is a longer 15 chapter, and this is a longer 290 minutes. Links below. And that sort of thing too. So this stars as Dick Tracy is Ralph Bird, and his brother is Gordon Tracy, played by Carlton Young. After playing, also stars Kay Hughes as Gwen Andrews and Smiley Burnett as Mike McGurk. And it also has Lee Van Atta as Jr. He's the comic relief character here. And then John Picari as Dr. Moloch. So this is directed by Alan James for you folks, and has Ray Taylor also directing it too, and it's written by a bunch of people: Margaret B. Cox, George Morgan, Barry Shipman, Winston Miller too, and this is all based on Chester Gould's comic strip. So this does make some changes to the aforementioned comic strip, although they are all approved by Gould. He isn't a police detective set in the Midwest. He's a G-man working for the federal government in the Bay Area. They also added a bunch of new characters too. Nobody was returning, not his girlfriend, not his assistant, none of that stuff. So all that stuff has changed too. All right, so and none of his rogue scholars are also used. It's all new stuff. So the plot here is very simple for a 15 episode thing, right? The big bad who's called the Lame One, and then the Spider 2 uses a powerful spider ring to assassinate his foes and leave a spider mark on their face. And then the sort of thing too is a plane that's called the Flying Wing, and then he tries to load some crime from it with a bunch of different people that is foiled by Dick Tracy. So the world has loads of cross ocean stuff, like that you would typically be liners, but here they're airships. It still has some planes too, and that sort of thing too. And I love the positive. One of them turns out to be a woman, and then Junior, in a bad time, he says, "If women car drivers are bad enough, but plane drivers, not a good joke." Sorry. So this has great sets, fights, and Dick Tracy here is more of a human character too. I like the comic relief here, just like I mentioned before, with Junior, just isn't funny at all. It's like groaning and seeing it for like hours at a time. Just isn't that great. Also has a bad clip show too. So for those 2 reasons, I'm pulling a point and giving this a 9 out of 10 for you folks. But it's got great combat, great action, great sets. And that sort of thing too, and also set a lot of future serials and movies and that sort of thing too. It's great stuff. Everything combat related here is an absolute strong stuff. I love lots. So that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 for you folks. Also, like that Dick Tracy is more of a human character here too, just like he is in the comic strip, unlike some other film appearances or serials that'll be happening coming later up down the line for you folks. So have you seen this? If so, what did you think about it? I'd be more than happy to engage with it further in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are. If you've seen this, as a reminder, I'm not a trained movie critic, right? I didn't go to film school and that sort of a thing too. I'm just a fan. So that means your opinion is going to be just as valid, right, as mine is. So I'd be loving to hit you up with those thoughts in your comments below. And then later on, let me know your thoughts. Also, as a reminder, this, like I mentioned earlier, Serial Saturday is dedicated to the forgotten storytelling genres and that sort of thing too. They heavily influenced. They actually sold us out. We're the water cooler talking, if you will, of the year. Although that was before that way of saying things came out, right? Because of the serial stuff. But back then you wouldn't go and just see one film that you were setting out to go see, and then a few trailers, and then you head home, right? You would see some trailers, but typically your shorts would typically other things like newsreels or cartoons, or shorter, or a few minutes long, and then you would go there for like a half a day. You would see the A picture after the few shorts, and a couple of shorts, and then a serial. Had the intermission for half an hour. Come back, and that intermission you would be talking about how great the A picture was, right? You'd be talking about the serial and the cliffhangers, what was going to happen. After that, you would head back for a couple of shorts to the big picture, and then you'd finish up with the last serial of the day, and that'd be sort of like what a typical day would be like. And so you go there with everybody, your families, your co-workers, your schools, talking about it with your friends, the churches, all that sort of stuff, right? So it definitely was hugely influential. Sold theaters out. Everybody had to go back and talk about how is this person going to get this cliffhanger, sometimes literally resolved, right? Good stuff. Lots. Let's check that stuff out. I've also done the first 2 seasons of Doctor Who from the 60s too, if that's your interest. Ready? So there you are. I hope you guys have enjoyed that so much. As you can, as I do on Wednesday older video game reviews. I call it on Video Game Wednesday. Right now, I'm doing the Fallout series. I just did Fallout New Vegas, next is Fallout 4, and then next after that will be Fallout 76. So you check that stuff out too. If I've played it, it's in there, and that's sort of the thing too. And then I'm also doing things like on Monday, I do reviews of older things in RPGs like Dungeons & Dragons. Right now, I'm reviewing Dungeons & Dragons modules. I've done about 30 or 40 of them. So you can check about that. 8 or 9 by Gary Gygax, for example, the guy who founded the company. So you can check out that stuff. And then you can also, the other 3 days a week, I do reviews of older things that you read to, kind of like today's thing, except you watch here, like short stories and novels and such like that. In the 3 genres we cover: fantasy, science fiction, and horror too, right? So I do those 7. So those 7 older reviews a week of serials or video games or modules and stuff like that, or board games too, or just older things that you're reading, right? Sounds like your cup of tea? Then great. Welcome to the channel. Have a seat. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit, right? And while you're here, why not do all the YouTube stuff, like hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon to be notified of those 7 videos a week, and then also all the other stuff too, like share, watch, all that stuff too. Like, alright, basically you can watch and share. Those are the key ways we're growing the channel for you folks. Alrighty, so there you go for you folks. As you can tell from all the 7 other things, and even the title, it's the passion of this channel. The title comes from a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff. Not that the new stuff are bad, they're not, right? But they are standing on the shoulders of giants like Dick Tracy. So check out those giants and that sort of thing too. And then, right? So let's check out those fun things, right? In our passion for the new stuff, the new books, the new video games, the new novels, the new, in this case, movies, we sometimes have forgotten that stuff. So let's check out some of those things. All right. So there you are. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I just want to take some time out and thank you so very, very much for taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my videos too, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So the fact you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.